Hey, everybody. And we are back with another episode of Boss Your Business, where I interview my guests of how they boss their business and build their business around their lifestyle and just enjoying life while running a business and not running a business to enjoy life when retirement maybe comes around. And today we have Sarah Tran as our guest. And you are a sales funnel and meta ads strategist, the stuff that I do not want to touch. For coaches, experts, course creators, and membership owners looking to break through the six-figure and beyond while working only part-time hours. Combining her background in Facebook ads and copywriting with a passion for marketing strategies and sales funnels, you help overwhelmed business owners get out of the being constant figure things out mode so they can finally build a profitable, sustainable, and scalable evergreen business online and get out of the time to money trap. Well, how can somebody like Facebook ads?
I don't know. It's just so much. I feel like that you can actually not control. You can't control the algorithm,
Yeah.
but there's so much more that you can control rather than, putting content out there and hope and pray that the right person sees it. There's more control than that, right? So I'm
Yeah,
not
it's
like a
like
big content person. So Facebook ads, at least when I create a piece of content, I can make sure it goes to the right person. Does that make sense? So
I love
yeah.
that. Yeah, I'm like, I know the targeting and everything. It's like, but I'm like, literally, I don't want to open up business or ads manager. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah. Well, you
no.
gotta love
Luckily, there's
numbers
people
too.
like
Yeah.
you that I can just call up to do that. How did you get here? How did you get to be an ads strategist? What's your story?
It's a long story. So to cut the shortest point possible, I had like different businesses before. I had like an e-commerce business before, and that didn't go very well because I had no idea how to market it. So in a couple of years, it kind of like I'm kind of bored of it. It's not going anywhere. I have no idea how to run my own ads. I knew that Facebook ads was the way to go back then, but I think it was still almost like a well-kept secret, right?
Mhm.
No one really trains on it and things like that. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go and work. So I went to work, when I had like this normal 9 to 5 job that really like almost killed me. And then from there, I decided that I wanted to do wedding planning. So I went into
Oh,
wedding planning. And then from there, I learned a lot of copywriting stuff, a lot on how to build businesses. I ended up jumping into a bit of funnel building and then Facebook ads as well to kind of build my business because I hate creating content. I hate the idea of, oh my God, I need to create more content. Otherwise, no one's going to see my business. Otherwise, nothing's going to
mhm.
happen. I'm like, what if I could go into Facebook? What if I could learn Facebook ads so that I could make sure that I don't have to create more content, but I just can amplify the content that I've created to make sure that it reaches the right people. Then it's almost like I don't have to create as much content,
Yeah.
right? I just need to make sure that the content gets delivered to the right person. So I went into Facebook ads and all that. So when COVID hit, and then I'm like, I think at that time I was already starting to think about going down the coaching route, like to kind of
Mhm.
help other wedding planners with their business. And then I started like talking to people, started going to coaching. And then from there, at the same time, I think a year after that, I got pregnant. So I was like, I don't want to do any more weddings. It's like, it's so stressful doing weddings while you're pregnant. And I'm like, I'll pick up weddings again when I have my baby. So I started going to that coaching road more a little bit. And then when I had my baby, COVID hit. So I'm like, oh well, there goes
Yeah.
wedding. So
Mhm.
I finished the last of my weddings. And then that's when I was like starting to take on more clients for Facebook ads. And that's when I started realizing like, should I either go down copywriting or Facebook ads? But then I realized like I love numbers a little bit more than I do love words. So that's when I started going all in the Facebook ads route. And then I pretty much help people do the things that what
People
prompted me
like
to do
me
Facebook ads.
that neither like copywriting nor Facebook ads.
Yes,
Yeah.
those. And those who don't want to feel like they're stuck having to create content daily for their business just to, grow it
Yeah.
and getting more leads and sales, I guess. Yeah, having a more targeted way to grow your business, right? Yeah. So long story, right? I feel
Not that long.
I feel so horrible having to walk everyone through the whole full circle every time.
No, I'm like that's the premise of the show, because it's like we see people out there, we see people running businesses, we see people and perceive them as successful, and it's often this polished look because we're advertising ourselves, right? We are promoting
content.
ourselves.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the goal of this podcast is to show we are all just humans. I'm like, we had a couple stories on the podcast where it's like, you did what? And it's like, same with me. People always look at me like, you were an electrician? Yeah, that's what I started out for. Started out as an electrician. So it's always fun hearing people how things have changed. When you mentioned wedding, I'm like, oh my God, this is such a stressful thing and such a seasonal thing. You have all of the prepping going on, all of the stuff, and you know how it goes. It drags out forever for people to finally make decisions and to finally do things. And then the week before the wedding is when shit hits the fan. Everybody goes crazy. You are suddenly I'm like, no. Weddings? Oh no. No.
It's really not that bad, to be honest. I think it's almost like running a business. Like, well, technically when you have a wedding planning business, it's almost both ends. You need to have really strong type processes to kind of help you through it, right? So I think once you get into the hang of things, like you kind of know when to put, like check-ins with your brides, because you know that they're about to go into, those hectic seasons. So to check in with them, like, hey, like, these are the common things that's going to come up. Like, do you have any questions? Like, what are you dealing with right now? Like, do you want me to take on anything for you? So I think, it's a lot like running a business. You need to have processes in place. You need to have step-by-steps, and then you refine them along the way, right? I think the key to getting weddings planned or running a business is not just remembering that there are processes to help you through, but that the key to having these processes work is that you have to always refine them. It's not like just one off, like, I have a process. Oh, good. I'm good to go. No, you have to always come back and refine it. Right. It's almost like, like in the digital business world, the coaching course creation business world, people are like, here's my framework. This is the process that has taken me to launch.
I was literally just going there, where it's like, you can start with somebody else's process. You can start with somebody else's framework.
Yes.
It's a great jump start. Don't give me wrong. And I'm like, you look at my YouTube channel, I share all of my processes, all of the ways how we do workflows, content creation, all the things, right?
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean it's going to work like that for you. You might have a different team. You are thinking different. You have content creators out there that start with writing and then take that script and record a video. It does not work for me. Yeah, I need to talk through. My brain processes information by talking. So fully scripting out of it. Again, what I'm doing with all of this bubbling is, yes, you can take somebody else's framework and process, but you need to implement it to your needs, and then things change.
That's right.
You are moving things around. You are scaling. Yeah.
Definitely, you need to refine, right? It's not just about, it's even like the process that you create yourself, right? You still need to refine it over time. So sometimes it's like people take this proven process, or this is the proven framework that I've used to launch like $1 million business. And then they go like, oh my God, it doesn't work for me. It's not supposed to work immediately, right? You're supposed to refine it and adapt it. And I think this is like the one point that people don't sell, right? They sell like, this is my proven framework, this 4-step framework, blah, blah, blah. But they don't tell you that, oh, you actually need to kind of make it work for you still. There's still some work behind that. And I feel like that's like one of the almost like one of the biggest flaw in the coaching industry for
Oh
sure. Like they
God.
don't understand that everything is a process, but with every process, there's always constant refinement to it. Yeah. So
And then it's like my solution is the only right solution. I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah. No, no, it's not. Yeah. And have you ever
it's
seen like those solutions, like when you go into them, it's almost like just another way of doing something that's already been
yeah.
taught before. Yes,
Uh-huh.
so it's
Uh-huh.
there's no one way to do the same thing. And it's so funny because I used to have something similar when it comes to wedding planning, because brides are like, I need to book that one florist. She's the only one who has this the type of style and design I need to do. And I'm like, no, there's like a bunch of other people out there who does the same thing. So
Ah.
it's the same thing. So I feel like
Yeah.
there's a lot of
And
similarity, but
I
yeah.
think where things are always gone missing, especially in the idea of here is the framework, here is the done for you solution, they never account for the human aspect, for the
Definitely.
person behind it, where it's like, cool, content creation, awesome, I want to organic, I want to go ads, fine, but what are your actual values?
Yes.
What are your core values as a person? And that will help you decide which of those frameworks, which of those ways to approach and build your solution is right for you, because it comes down to you.
Yes.
If you freeze up and you look like a dumbass on camera and you just simply need another month or two to get comfortable on camera. I wasn't comfortable on camera. I looked like a damn dumbass when I started out. I still do at times, let's be honest.
Yeah, probably do.
But
We
it's
all
like
probably do, so.
if video first might not be the first thing for you to start with. It might just be
Definitely.
audio. Don't go
Yeah.
go with the video podcast. Just start with an audio podcast. And while you do that, you jump on Instagram story, because the stuff is gone within 24 hours, and you start getting comfortable with the camera to then up level. But
So
it's
true.
like, so many people are pushing video first. I'm like, yeah, video first is a perfect solution for me. I fought through my limiting beliefs and just not being able to listen to my voice for a while there, because of my accent, because of being a German that lives in the US that's now speaking English. My accent was way stronger. So video was where people could see me. They could get when I was making a dumb joke because you could tell on my face.
Yeah.
It was the right solution for me. It doesn't mean it's the right solution for everybody else, because if you are having a panic attack just thinking about talking to a camera, you're not going to do anything.
Yeah.
And that, I think that's one of the big things that has been missing in the coaching industry, where it's like, what are your core values? What do you want to accomplish? And how does this align with my offering, with what I'm teaching? Or doesn't it align? And maybe you are better off somewhere else.
Yeah. And also, I guess it's not just values, right? The one thing is also your headspace, your mindset, like what you said just now, right? Self-limiting beliefs, everyone has them. So like I have coaches who pushes like, oh, you should do DMing, DMs and things like that. You should jump on lives. I don't jump on live straight away. I don't do live calls like this like straight away, right? My first step was actually doing coaching, one-on-one coaching. And from there I realized like, oh, I get to riff. Like I love riffing off about topics that I love, right? And that's when I'm like, rather than creating content and having to write lots of content every day, why don't I just jump on calls with people, right, who wants to talk about things like that? So you kind of, I think what you need to do is to understand who you are and what your limiting beliefs are, and learn to either overcome that or to work with it. Right. And I think that's a very important thing. And not to just feel like, oh, I can't do what that coach is asking me to do. And now I feel like I'm like stupid, not smart enough, not good enough, blah, 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 blah. No, you just need to find your own path to doing it. You still can do what you need to do. Right. And I think that's something that don't really get talked enough. And everyone just feels like a failure because they feel like like, oh, they've given me the exact framework that everybody's used and they've been successful, and here I am, the only person with a problem, and they feel like it's their fault. But no, you're just different, right? You have a different past than everyone else, and you have more difficulty overcoming certain things than others, so
Believe me, those ones where that framework worked, something else is not gonna work.
Yeah,
it just just simply didn't align with you, and it aligned better with the other one. So coming back around to really vetting your choices, I'm like, coaches should be vetting their clients, because we want a result. We want to be able to say, hey, we have these kind of results, and this percentage of my students, of my clients, reap the results of it, which means coaches should be aligning their clients and their members accordingly, knowing that this is a good fit for the client. Unluckily, not all coaches do that. They are just going after getting your money. So it's your responsibility to see how are you aligning with certain offers and approaches of doing things. And heck, I got burned in the past. Don't get me wrong. I have made bad decisions in the past, which is why I'm like, you need to do your job. You are thinking about hiring somebody. You are thinking about working with somebody. Make sure your values align and things just match well.
Definitely. I do. Yeah. I definitely do agree with that as well. But, there's only so much that you can expect somebody else to do, right? So when you do get into a situation where you ended up hiring someone who's not a great fit, because they don't quite understand your values or what you want, or you ended up, purchasing another $2,000, $3,000 course and then realizing like, oh, this is not going to work for me. So that's when you take what works for them and then see how we can adapt and refine to working for you. Let's say you hired someone who's not a great fit. Why are they not a great fit? So maybe, something along the lines of their process is not, I really like this, but something else doesn't work. So go and look for someone else with that, right? Because it's going to change from person to person. Their processes are going to change and things like that. So definitely, again, it's a process that's getting refined. For all you know, the coach, the person that you hire, they're still refining their process as well. So 5 years down the road, their proven framework is going to change again, right? That's why they're always re-recording things as well. You know what I mean? So no one has a set proven framework for sure. Proven process. Yeah,
I've been re-polishing. I'm like, the big idea is still all the same, but we keep polishing my framework. That's just what it is. That's what human nature is. The leaves fall off the tree and we have fresh ones next year. And this is a great lead into my next question of, what are some of the processes and workflows that help you run your business, that allow you to just take time off and run a business that supports your lifestyle?
So I guess the most important process is having something that will help you get more leads and clients, right? I think that's like the most important process of all, because every business thrives on having more leads and clients. So I think that for me, I do amplify a lot of that with ads, and I obviously help clients do that as well. But for me, I think it's about how you can streamline those processes, and so you can take yourself out of it, or on those days where it's just hard to be there or to think, right? You have a way to kind of walk you through it. So all you need to do is just follow those steps, even when your brain isn't working, right? Like, I have a lot of, I guess, like templates. I guess templates are like the easiest thing, like part of your process, right? Like if someone inquires, what do you do? What do you say? Sometimes you have days where your brain just isn't working. You're like, how do I answer this question? Oh my God, that's just weird. So sometimes I have like one of the easiest things that I've done so far is like, I created like a template bank, a copy bank of all the questions that people have asked me and my responses to that. So if I need to, like, if my brain isn't working that day, I'll just go through and look for like similar questions, and then I just grab and like just change it and use it. Like that saves me so much time, right? Rather than procrastinating and like, I'll just answer them tomorrow. And then next thing you know, it's like a whole week. And then you don't,
Yeah.
things like that.
Damn
Right?
it, the week it's Friday and I
Yeah.
still
Like, oh
haven't
my
replied. What?
Yeah, I still don't know what to say to that person. So yeah, I think that's definitely having templates. I think having templates that you can reuse over and over again definitely has helped, and it cuts you time as well, so that you don't
Oh my
have to
God,
think
yes.
from scratch. Right? Even with writing, I think creating copy, right? Creating
Mhm.
content, getting on like podcast shows and recording podcasts. I think you have your own processes as well, right? So like even for
don't
me
get
to get on podcast shows, I have a process that walks me through it and things like that. So
Yep.
yeah, definitely everything.
I'm like, look at us. It's like we've been polishing up our podcast workflow, as everybody that's been around listening knows. We went from going live to pre-recording the live show, simply because it makes it easier having people like you on. It's usually it would be a pain in the butt for you to join, because the live show would have happened way earlier than we are recording this right now. Same as simple as just starting with some email templates where it's like, go here, fill this out, done.
Yep.
Where you simply don't have to think about what's going on and what you need to do next.
Yeah.
Also, you already started to hint a little bit. What are some of your favorite tools you are using?
Okay, so I love ClickUp. Everything goes in there. The things that don't go to ClickUp, they go onto Google. I write a lot of my SOPs on Google, but I link to them. I manage them on ClickUp. So
Yep.
ClickUp has like I kind of use both of them. So ClickUp, Google, Facebook ads, obviously. Facebook ads, for automated lead generation. My other favorite tool is Go High Level. It's like a CRM, like funnel builder, blah, 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 everything. It lets you really automate things without having to buy like a bunch of tools. What else? I feel like I missed one. Okay, I feel like I missed one. But yeah, definitely ClickUp, Google, Facebook ads, and Go High Level, definitely my favorite because it just helps me, automate as much as possible. Yeah. Then you're a ClickUp expert.
Just a little bit. I might be writing the book on ClickUp right now. Yeah, I'm like, it's interesting because all of our task management for the podcast runs through ClickUp. So yeah, we use a scheduler to schedule our guests, because why would I manually remind you of doing something, right? But I'm like, the moment our guests submit things, I literally have a ClickUp task open right now with your bio handy, being able to take notes in the comment section for my VA that's going to be cleaning up things and linking things. As well as the moment this goes live, I change the stage to that the podcast is live, and you're going to get an email with all the links that are already linked within ClickUp.
Yeah.
So that you have all the resources to promote if you want to promote the episode, right? So it's just our hub. We handle SOP similar to you, where a lot of documents and stuff are in Google Drive. We are switching over right now to using ClickUp Docs. But again, we have a company hub for our wikis and SOPs where you link them.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter if you want to keep them in ClickUp or if you want to have them in Google Drive.
Yeah.
There's a field for that. Just have a space where you can collect them all.
Yeah. And it definitely saves a lot of time as well, because like, I guess when you're first creating a process, like the way I do it anyways, like I just dump everything down on a Google Doc. And then as I go in and refine it, I figured out like, should it go to my CRM or should it go to ClickUp, right? So yeah, because I do manage some client pipelines on ClickUp as well, on my CRM itself as well. But a lot of my other tasks, like even to my day-to-day tasks, I do it on ClickUp. And I think it just saves so much time and so much brain space, especially because like I technically only work 3 days a week, because my like that's the only days that my son goes to daycare. So I had the other 2 days with him, and It's just a handful. I do not have time to worry and think about my business. So if I need to keep things running, I need to make sure that I can quickly jump in, see what needs to be done because it's already showing me on ClickUp, or I have a process that quickly walks me through like what I need to do because I literally do not have time to think. The only time I have to do work is like maybe an hour while he naps, and that's it. So I need to be able to get as much done as possible. So having like a refined process for me to quickly that tells me quickly what I need to do. Having ClickUp on my CRM that tells me like this is what you need to pay attention to, things like that. It just helps, it just really helps me not worry about things and be able to actually spend time with him because otherwise it might really annoy me. Like if I'm in the middle of something, like I'm a very focused person. If I'm in the middle of this something and he comes and like, mommy, let's go play, I'll be like, no. I need to get this done. And I feel horrible because I don't want to go play with him, because it's my day with him. So it's I guess it's about trying to balance, running a business from home and being a mom, and it's never easy, but I think processes definitely saves a lot of time and efficiency, definitely.
And it's like what I always tell my clients, or specifically when solopreneurs, when they're starting out, a lot of business owners start out as solopreneurs, and they're like, but it's just me. And I'm like, you just perfectly explained the brain power that you were using just trying to figure out where you left off the last time and what you need to do. Guess what? For regular stuff that happens either way, every day, every week, or every month, or every quarter, or every year, I have a recurring task in ClickUp for that. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to remember it. And it becomes even more a time saver and a brain power saver when it comes down to producing a podcast, where it's like, I don't want to call my VA every single time. Where are you at with this episode? Is this blog post done?
Yeah.
Really? Not even to mention, and again, going back to a solopreneur, because that's often where we don't need processes. I don't need a project management tool. The time I have wasted in the past when I was still building websites of, did I do the SEO on this page? And then I need to go back to the page and I need to open it up and I need to check the SEO. Yes, I've done it. And then 2 minutes later, did I check that? Did I do the SEO? So having these task templates, or even just in the beginning, a piece of paper written down with the steps you need to take, saves you the, did I do that? Yeah, it's crossed out, done.
Yeah.
The
or even like
brain power.
Even I think like, even if you have it on, a piece of paper and then you can quickly run your eye through it, you're like, oh yeah, this is where I stopped. It's as easy as that. Right. You don't have to like think about, oh my goodness, like, did I miss something? Right. Something like that. So I feel like, and you know what, having these processes is the first step to handing like it over to somebody else. Like that's when you can start delegating and like, I don't need to keep doing this myself. It's taking like 20 minutes. I'm just going to hire a VA and take it over for me. Right. And then guess what? You've already got it all documented and all written out, and you can just hand that process over to your VA. You don't need to do any more work. And that just saves you 20 minutes of your time each day. Right. So it's definitely, I think if anyone doesn't know where to begin, start documenting things. I have like what I call a planning doc for all new processes, all new things that I'm testing out. And it's a messy, it's like a brain dump. It even has,
and that's where processes start. It's a brain dump where it's like, but it's also it's a visual help of when you look at it and it's like, why am I doing that specific task right down there? It makes way more sense if I'm doing it up there, because that's how they play with each other. So looking at it, which again, you don't have to go all crazy, guys. You don't have to go big whiteboarding and decision-making tree. You don't. A piece of paper and a pen does the job in the beginning. But if you don't have this down, if you do not start recording your processes, what's going to happen is, if you are at the point of even just bringing in a VA for a few hours a week, they can't read your mind. They cannot. So if you don't have at least something for them to work off, you're going to spend 3 times the amount of time because you're going to train them. They're going to do it. Then you need to prove it. And actually, that's 4 times you need to probably edit it too and finalize the stuff. So
Yeah.
start recording your processes.
Yeah. And even if you're not sure, like even if like you're not a pen and paper or Google Doc person, definitely start recording it. You can record yourself talking through it, right? And then like get it transcribed. There's lots of like AI now that does all those transcribing things. Like a lot of SaaS products out there, you don't actually need to submit it like to like a transcribing business to transcribe it. So it saves you a lot of money to just get one of those and transcribe it. And then maybe get your VA to go through it and then write down the notes for you, like the steps for you, right? So there's lots of ways to do it now.
That's literally how we build our SOPs, because I'm like, I can talk all day, I will not be writing. I walk through what I do on a Loom video. I often enough then use Tango to grab some screenshots. So Tango does the whole, when you click on things, it records it with a screenshot. And then I have my VA that combines all those pieces, writes it, I prove it, we polish it up with a couple of changes that might need to happen, and done.
Yep.
I'm not an implementer. I am not going to be sitting there and writing SOPs for the next, no.
Yeah, your time as a business owner is worth a lot more. And when you have that time and you have nothing to do, then go play with your kid, right? I think that's the reason why we're doing all of this. We're not doing this to get like to do all those little admin stuff. That's the reason why we created a digital business, right? So that we can automate things. And I think it all starts with documenting your processes and seeing what you can actually make more efficient to save you time and to save you brain power. I think that's like that's what people don't consider when it comes to creating a business. Like how much resource they actually have. Your time, your energy, your bandwidth, your mental bandwidth is like your biggest resources, not just money. People just think like, oh my God, I need money. No. Your mental bandwidth is
you always can make more money. You can never make more time. And with that, I'm going to give everybody their time back to go spend with their family after you told them where can people find you. And yes, guys, it's in the description too for easy clicking. But Sarah, where can people find you?
They can usually just find me on Facebook. I'm also in LinkedIn, although I don't really do much on LinkedIn. To be honest, I don't really do much on Facebook as well, but my DMs are usually quite busy. But I just don't post much. Like disclaimer, I already said I don't create much content. I feel weird creating content. I don't know. I'm just not like a, hey, I've got so much to share today kind of person. So I do prefer these kind of like live calls. So, just so that I can actually still share without feeling like I need to create content. But yeah, if you follow me, you can definitely hit me up on my DM and just chat. And if you need help getting out of being a bottleneck in your own business, like whether it's, getting organized. I love talking about how I organize my time as well, being with a 3-year-old boy. And processes, I love talking about processes as well, because that's how I built my business. And of course, if you want to talk about funnels and Facebook ads, which is just the next step of processes, you can find me on DM as well. Okay, my Facebook DMs. All right.
So go find Sarah on Facebook. Link will be in the description. And thanks so much for joining me. And everybody listening, I'll see you in the next episode. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.